Yes, that artist's name is real. No, this album does not seem to have a name. Does this make the music itself hard to find online? Absolutely. Did it stop me? No. One of my personal listening goals for 2018 was to listen to more non-English releases. And when I saw this one, I pounced on it like a panther against what's a small, vulnerable animal? A chicken. A panther on a chicken. dotstokyo is the non-symbolic and colossally more convenient name that this Japanese idol group go by, specializing in a shoegazy dream pop sound that is also very blissful, also occasionally laid with synthesizers. The vocalists' voices tend to sail very smoothly over these lovely, aquatic, shimmering instrumentals with sweet melodies thanks to the guitars and the synthesizers alike. dotstokyo released a 17-minute single that was really just an album or EP with a few of those typical shoegazy indie pop tracks, but then followed by 40 minutes of harsh noise. This perturbed many for sure, but I actually found the noise piece quite enchanting and even relaxing, finding the way that it built up over its course to be very well executed, as well as finding the layering of those abrasive sonic textures to have been very flavourful and creative. Unfortunate for those who loved this noise piece, there is a lack of this brave noise experimentation on this new album here. In fact, they shed the shoegazy fuzziness on a few tracks. You might hear bits of screechy feedback on a few songs, but for the most part this new blank titled album is quite clean, accessible, bouncy, danceable, yet still sticks to kind of a blissful dream pop sound that would initially attract many to the group, which of course is a good thing. They do it well, and I actually think some of the songs where they bring in those synthesizers are my favorites too, like tracks 2 and 4 specifically. The former brings in breakbeats for a fast-paced joyride. And the latter just is a bouncy, skippity bop of a track. Track 5 brings in some strong guitar melodies and some rather adorable vocal harmonies, followed by track 6. Track 6, which absolutely rushes back in with the fuzzy guitar layers, which is like, yes, this is exactly what I was hoping for on a shoegaze pop record. Just more of that fuzzy, thick wall of sound. Track 7 continues this with what totally sounds like a J-pop song mixed with a track from the album Loveless, just obviously with cleaner vocals. And track 8 is totally on some pains of being pure at heart level of fuzzy indie pop, and I am absolutely digging it. While the sound is wholesome and blissful, there is a chance of the sound becoming a touch too homogeneous over its runtime, a bit samey. Nothing will sound awful, it's just that there are times where you might be hoping for something in the instrumental palette to change, although you'll still be surprised by things like track 4's saxophone solo, which comes out of nowhere, but it's still quite charming. In hindsight, actually, I don't think it would have been a bad idea to screw around with the noise thing a little bit more. I understand that this is an idol group, and that is also why the vocals tend to be so clean, but I still hope that the music gains a bit more ambitious footing as dotstokyo continue onward into their next project. Still, I think it's cool that you do get a bit of both, the shoegazy wall of sound inspired stuff, and the cleaner synth pop stuff. It's nice. As much as I regret not digging into this record in huge detail, it isn't as if each track offers that much that is distinct in the first place. It's blissful, shoegazy pop music that should appeal to those indie kids for sure. If you're a fan of other Japanese shoegaze bands like Kinoko Teikoku, then this should tickle your fancy as well as you, Pink. By no means is the sound going to strike anyone as brand spankingly new, but there are some albums so full of charisma and effervescent charm that I feel as if sometimes the best thing I can do is just let go and soak in the ether. This is a lovely album and one very worth checking out. 7 out of 10.